Good evening and Jai Hind, everyone. Am I audible?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Yes, sir.
sir. Then, sir.
Hi, Jai Hind. Aim of these frequent lecturate is to enhance our communication skills, open up thought process, have better knowledge, better ability to express ourselves. More you practice, you will be benefited. You will have these advantages for future. Try and utilize such opportunities. Okay, more and more practices will help you. Every time be deliberate about choosing different topic. Be deliberate. Be very determined that I am preparing systematically. I have my aim. This is how I am moving. Feel about it. You have to feel about it, how you are progressing. Yes, ups and downs of moods, mood swinging, these things will happen. Part of life. But then you all want to be leaders. Leaders have one thing common. They overcome the swinging moods when the going is easy, anybody can handle. But when the going gets tough, and that's why we keep saying tougher gets going. And these are the things you must understand early in life. No matter what kind of situation is there, if everything is adverse, you are still able to perform, and that is how you will be distinguished. Time discipline, your day management, these are smaller things, yet that is how you will rise. If you are able to manage your one day, it is just a beginning that you will be managing your life in a systematic and effective way. Just focus on small things at this age. It may be doing chapter in a day, or preparing for a topic, or having a healthy interaction, or going for a run in the morning, doing some exercises. At the end of the day, you are shaping your personality. So any activity you do, just think whether it was gainful or it was a waste. Any day going west, I keep saying these things. Check yourself, question yourself. If you are dreaming big, you can't afford for loose schedule. You have to have a purposeful day. If your each day goes purposeful, I'm telling you, you are heading for a bright life. If your every day, day after day, is going west, you are not understanding how it is going, or you are not in control of your own life. Then it is just a signal, just a warning for you. Come out of that shelf. It is a darkness. Come out of that. You must feel about it. And when you will feel, when you think, introspect, review, and whose traits are these? These are the traits of leaders of future. Any leader you admire, just check how that person has traveled in life. Small habits, good habits, you inculcate them, you head for success. You head for distinguished life. And that is how my aim is to remind you every time I interact. If you want to be special, special in letter and spirit, not in only dreams. There is no one at your age who wants to waste this life. But how many of you will really be shining after 20 years? How many of you will be thankful to yourself that you built up your life well? Just foresee things. Just foresee your roadmap. Just try and visualize what will be your destiny another 10 years down the line. These are review, and you must be able to think about it, dream about it, visualize about it, and things will start happening the way you want. Okay, with this brief little dose, uh, who is the first volunteer to speak today?
May I, sir?
Okay, Adarsh. Small things. Be volunteer. Come out of that inhibition. Start taking initiatives. Okay, who will keep time? Subodh?
Yes, sir. I will keep that.
Okay. Adarsh, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Uh, so actually, there is a little bit disturbance because I'm out actually. So will it be okay for
Okay, we'll wait then. Next one. Any other volunteer? Others will join later.
now? Sir,
So tell me.
I'm ready actually, sir. So uh,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. Shall we move ahead with you?
yes, sir.
Okay. Subodh, keep time.
Yes, sir. Adarsh, go on.
Uh, so good evening, friends. My today's lecture topic is Supreme Court of India. So as we all know very well about what is Supreme Court or what is Supreme Court in our country. Actually, if we see that Supreme Court wasn't there from the starting. It was formed in April 1950 after the formation of Constitution. And if we see that it is the highest appeal body in the country, and we can also say that it is the caretaker of our judiciary. If we talk about the judiciary systems or the Supreme Court and the rest of the courts, that it was the gift to us from the Britishers. And why it is there? Because in India there wasn't any court, so that is the reason why the Britishers they thought that there should be any in India there should be some court. So that's why they formed the Privy Council, and the Privy and the Supreme Court is the outcome of the Privy Council. So if we see that the Supreme Court is the plays a very major role from the starting, from uh, from the starting. For example, like there are LIC cases there, the Keshav Nanda Bharti case is there, and also the Minerva Mill case. The Supreme every time the Supreme Court proved themselves that they are there for us and they are there to protect the basic needs or the rights of the people. So and every time the Supreme Court played a very major role. Like for example, in the juvenile case also, in the case of Nirbhaya case, the Supreme Courts they changed the juvenile age of that juvenile age from 18 to 16 for the boys. So if we see that if we see that there are some pros and cons in each and every sector. If we see in our India that there is a uh, nepotism in the Supreme Court. For example, if the current Chief Justice if says that the next judge will become this person, so automatically the Prime Minister he appoint them as a judge, as a Chief Justice of India. And there is a one more lacuna in our Supreme Court, that from the starting there is no uh, female chief justice in our country, and which is the biggest threat, because Supreme Court always talk about the equality, but there is no female judge in Supreme Court. So there is if we can say that
Last 30
there is some
seconds.
contradiction in the Supreme Court also, because they talk about the equality and there is no female judge in a not female judge in a Supreme Court. So if we seeing that our Supreme Court is also not perfect, yeah, we need to amend lot of things in our Supreme Court. But it is true that Supreme Court is there, that is why we are living in our country freely. If and Supreme Court always make control on the executive body and the legislative body. uh, thank you.
Time up.
Okay, Adarsh. Flow is coming. Your confidence is now visible. You can organize it in much better way in terms of content flowing in a systematic way. Supreme Court of India, a very important constitutional body. They are the watchdog of our democracy. Anything going haywire, any state government, central government, any decision which is beyond or getting controversial, not getting solved within the ambit of government jurisdiction, things go to Supreme Court. Nowadays, media is helping us to know each and everything in detail. You must have seen those who are now preparing for competitive exams. you must be seeing a lot of issues are going to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is trying to resolve many disputes, whether it is river related interstate, whether it is national level political decisions, including there are some landmark decisions regarding Ram Mandir. Such things which were lingering for many years now solved. Article 370 abrogated, someone represented and went to Supreme Court. Thing is in court. There is something which speaks high about our democracy. And if we have to list some things, Supreme Court is one entity which stands out among all these things. Because this is where the fight between the political masters or the government, whoever rules, because there will be vested interest. No person can be perfect. With same logic, no party will be perfect to rule. But the jurisdiction area is such where there is a lot of deliberate thought process, study, rational thinking, and then the judgment is expected to be given. The selection process and all those things of judges, their life, their upbringing, and there are issues, of course. Our judicial system, some people say, requires reform. It is debatable to great extent. The selection of judges in Supreme Court, there are 25 judges. So how they are selected, collegium system, you must read all these things. Okay, good. Others, you can further refine about now structure. Confidence is
Yes, sir.
coming, you are not getting stuck, flow is coming. Now focus on content and structure of it. Okay.
Yes, because I didn't get the time, Victor. Actually, sir, I'm on the way, so I was not able to structure this.
Yes, but this is how spontaneity you have to achieve. एसएसबी में पहुंच गए, suddenly card मिला, it should be so naturally tuned in your mind that anytime you get up and you can speak. This is how, that is the level we have to achieve. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, who is next?
May I, sir?
Sharvari. Okay, Sharvari, go ahead. Others keep time.
Okay. Sharvari, just wait a minute.
Yeah.
You can start now.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone present over here. Status of the nation is depicted by the social, economic, and mental health of a woman. About one sixth of the women's population is present in India. So, friends, it is very important to have a good place for a woman. I hope you may got idea about my today's topic, that is women empowerment. What is women empowerment? Basically, women empowerment promotes women's sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choices and right to influence social changes for themselves. Why there was a need of women empowerment in our country? Friends, our history is a testimony that women were dominated on the basis of education as well as other resources. They were not given these resources easily. So, in today's my talk, I will be covering some initiatives taken by government to empower women, as well as I will be giving some examples of women who have achieved much in our country. So, first of all, some initiatives taken before in our independence were Bengal Regulation Act of 1829. Then second one was Hindu Widow Remarriage Act of 1856, and one more was there, that was Female Infanticide Act, which was in 1870. After after our independence, the constitution provided many laws as well as many rights for women, so they would be safe in our country. But some initiatives taken by our governments were like STEP, which is support to training and employment program for women, which was started in 1986 to about 1987, which aims to for the sustainable empowerment employment of the women in private as well as government sector. Second one is the PMMY, that is Pradhan Mantri Matru Vatsalya Yojana, which aims to provide financial support to pregnant ladies in our country. One more was NMEW, that is National Mission for Empowerment of Women, which was conducted in 2010. Then one more was that Sexual Harassment of Women Act at Workplace
Last
Act
30
of
seconds.
2013. One more was POXO, Protection of Children and Women from Sexual Harassment. These were some acts, or these were some initiatives taken by government. One more is this, that there 33% are reserved in Lok Sabha for women in Parliament, as well as the most freshly example is that NDA has opened doors for
Time up.
women, and these are some examples. Examples are like Pratibha Patil, then Gunjan Saxena, Avni Chaturvedi, and many more are there who have tackled all the boundaries and set it up an inspiration for all of us. Thank you and have a nice day.
Okay, good, Sharvari. Content was good. You have to give the natural touch to it. It will come. More you speak, more you practice, it will come. Women empowerment is a very, very important topic in any forum, not only in SSB's lecturate or something. Anywhere you go in your life, this is a subject which we need to understand in detail, because we are a part of family system where we have both the genders, we have a society, and we are part of a nation, and then we are part of a world. So unless and until we have equality, same treatment, more respect for each other, we will not have a better or peaceful world. There has to be equality. And any nation who wants to or aspires to become a big power cannot afford to have half the population off the track. Because if we see 130 crore plus people, half the gender, that is female gender, we can't leave them out. They are and they should become part of our success story as a nation. So it has to start from family. In a family, we all need to understand the woman empowerment. We need to understand how we should respect our mothers, our sister, our daughters, and any other gender which we feel that they are important. We need to understand that the progress has to happen with the tuning of all people, all incumbents. In a family, if all are equally contributing, then the family progresses and ultimately the society and the nation. Sharvari has given enough examples how things are going to be changing. It has already changed. There are so many provisions with which our nation has actually taken on board the women. We see in all probability next president is likely to be again a female. These are great signs. Just in the previous lecturette, Adarsh was pointing out that we don't have the Chief Justice of India as from the woman cadre. These are some areas where, as and when we develop, things will improve. We started now having NDA entry. We had some time back first fighter pilots, both in Air Force and Navy, in the fighting stream. Some of the things are opening slowly, as and when the time suits, and that is how the real empowerment will happen on ground. Good, Sharvari. More and more practice, things will get refined automatically. But my only suggestion is, when you are speaking, when there is no video on, you should have a natural alignment to your thought process, that you are referring less, speaking with a natural habit. You can refer in the initial days to some of the points. It can be broad points or headings or subheadings, and you elaborate it in a natural tone and language. This habit we have to develop. Okay. Okay, good one. Who is next?
Sir, I will take.
Okay, Vikas. Sharvari, you understand now timekeeping?
Yes, sir.
Okay, two and a
I'm
half
trying.
minutes you say, last 30 seconds, and when the time is up, you say time up. Okay,
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Sir, very confirmed to start. Yes. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My today topic is Manrega. Manrega is a very good initiative taken by the government to enhance the rural area into the unemployment to employment rate. We can see that the trend has been changed nowadays. Initially, in the ancient 18th and 19th century, the Manrega was being for the normal people. Nowadays, it has been used and make an India project also. The latest technologies which are being introduced is we can see that Mandrega has been giving a good opportunity to the people to serve. Initially, there was a that if the person is reporting, so he has to give some signature and all. But now, due to digitization and moving into the IT revolution, the Mandrega schemes have been introduced with the smart bands. But the problem is that sometimes the bands are not working properly. So we can see that the governments are taking different initiative for the people to enhance the Mandrega scheme. Apart from that, introducing with the digitalization, we can see that the city sites in the northeast country, northeast state like Assam and other people, the Manrega in is creating a good impact. We can see the making of the brig is also an example of Manrega in which lots of people started working and earning, which led to the rural empowerment. Overall, the Manrega is giving a good economical conditions to the rural area where the people were just doing the farming. Apart from farming, they have also started doing the Manrega. Manrega has been given a good example in the rural countries, rural area where the people were not initially habitual. The current scenario, we can see that 5.7 to 8% of GDP has been induced from the Manrega scheme in the rural areas. We can see the development of the road also comes into the Manrega and which is also increasing. Our chief ministers, even the road minister are promoting the Manrega scheme in order to enhance the people's skill. We can see that the literacy rate in the rural area is less, but due to Manrega, many people are getting good opportunity. The children of the Manrega people who are working for the welfare of our country is also getting a good college school. Even the government is giving the fundings to the people who are into this scheme. So overall, Manrega scheme plays a very important role in India, like countries who are developing since from 18th century to 21st century. Manrega is being to a good initiative by the government to create employment plus to enhance the employment skill of the people in the particular region. Thank you.
Last
Okay,
30 seconds.
Sharvari, what was the running time?
Sir, 2:30.
Okay, why you were in hurry, Vikas?
Sir, I feel the she said because her voice is coming very less.
No, you should have focus. When you will stand in SSB, you will be facing the audience. When you speak, you should have that alertness in mind. Okay, and that should not be visible on face also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Flow was very good. A lot of improvement I can see. I hope you were not reading something. It was natural.
No, sir, I was not. No, sir, I was not reading. Just day before yesterday, I read this article on the Hindu.
Okay.
That's why I've taken that. Even I practiced once
Okay. Very
in front
nice.
of mirror.
That practice has helped you. It has come little naturally. Only thing structure, it can be better organized, and another 30 seconds you wasted. You did not utilize. Okay. Uh, this is a scheme of a developing nation. We are a developing nation. So many youth are there. Government cannot offer job for everyone. You saw the controversy when Agnivir was launched, which is not providing stability, providing a job. So these are two issues: providing a job with stability. So Agnivir is giving job, but no stability. So a developing nation has got different issues. Same thing works in Singapore, same thing works in US or in any developed economy, but it doesn't work in a developing country where people give priority to stability. Manrega was daily livelihood related solution for so many rural people. One correction, Vikas, when we pronounce rural, what is the spelling of rural, Vikas?
Sir, RURAL.
Uh,
Romeo Uniform Romeo Alpha Lima.
okay, now you pronounce?
Rural.
No, you practice it separately. A lot of students find it little difficult. Generally, people say ruler. L comes first in their pronunciation. They probably don't know. One of that example is now with you. You probably don't watch out. Listen to your own video today. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So rural. It is rural, and many students make these mistakes, especially from the Hindi belt. I don't know what is the actual reason, but it happens. Okay, this is a scheme which is offering livelihood solution where there is a guaranteed scheme of some daily wages work, and it is a famous scheme still moving on. Though there was a talk that this scheme will be withdrawn, but it could not be withdrawn because lot of thousands and lakhs of families are surviving on this. So guaranteed scheme of employment, which is government sponsored, where you have to give job to people. So the major contributor for this is road construction, especially in mountainous area and developing area. Okay, Vikas, good points. Who is next?
So can I?
Subodh. Okay, Vikas, keep time.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. Subodh, just a minute. I will say start, then you start.
Okay.
You can start.
Okay. Thank you. So good evening to all. My lecture topic is role of women in nation building. So without women, we can't even imagine how we can develop a nation, because a nation totally develop with the combined efforts of men and women. Now let us talk. Now let we move towards the historical background regarding women. So women gain a lot of important place in the pre-Vedic era, because in the pre-Vedic era, women are allowed to take education, and they are also allowed to participate in the sabhas and samitis. The sabhas and samitis for that, because they took the decisions for the benefit of the society. But if I talk about the post-Vedic era, so it is completely different. Due to the Brahmanical dominance, it becomes very difficult for women to fetch education or to do education or to come in the society. It becomes very difficult for women to also do education and to also participate in the sabhas and samitis. So because of that, the prominence of women in the after the post Vedic era started is totally diminishing. But if I talk about the 17th century, we see a lot of great examples. One of the great example is Rajmata Jizabai, who shaped Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and he created the Hindu Swaraj. Not only that, she has also shaped her grandson, that is second Chhatrapati of Swaraj, that is Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. So this depicts that if a woman can lead his son, or if a woman can lead anyone, so she can create changes in the society. Because if I can talk about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, so 32 countries almost teach Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj lessons in their particular country. So it is one of the remarkable achievement that Rajmata Jijamata has made. Then if I talk about the 1857 rebellion, Hazrat Begum Mahal, then Rani Lakshmi Bai played a very important role. Their leadership proved, because Britishers has also said that Rani Lakshmi Bai proved her bravery in the war with the Britishers, and they have also noted down in their newspapers, in their articles. Now if I talk about the present situation of women, it is completely changed. If I talk about the Orthodox societies, it is completely changed, because we see women in the armed forces taking the role in the combat zones. Not only but not in the army, but in the air force and navy. Not only that, government has opened the NDA special entry, and we have also heard that the Shannon Dhaka secured all India rank 10, become the first NDA topper of the women's batch. Then if I talk about giving examples of
Last
the
30 seconds.
Norway and Sweden and New Zealand, these all three countries are run by the female prime ministers. Not only that, West Bengal chief minister is our Mamata Banerjee, and the recent example is Draupadi Murmu ma'am. She is the presidential candidate from the BJP to shape or to lead the country in future. There are lots of examples regarding women's. So lastly, I want to conclude that, and according to my opinion, without women we can't develop, because straight from our house to
Time out.
developing a nation, or to help in the development of the nation, it is very important of women to be with the men, and it would help to develop our nation and also ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, Subodh, good.
Overshoot by 14 seconds, sir.
Okay, time you have to understand it is for our own reference how we are managing our 3 minutes. It's very important because at times you have to sum up points in a hurried way. That art we have to develop, and within 3 minutes you can cover few things. You may be having a lot of knowledge, and then still you are getting few remarkable points within those 3 minutes. That is an art which will get developed slowly. Okay, very important topic, role of women in nation building. This heading one has to understand. Subodh has given a historical perspective, and then in present scenario he has highlighted nation building. Nation is a larger picture. If you have to develop a nation, the grassroots level is family building. A woman at family, you see, has got the largest impact. Mother delivers a baby, and the mother space for any human being or any animal for that matter is something unique. So our life is starting with a female's contribution in a larger way, upbringing, and the impact of emotive force which mother creates on any kid is the greatest. Now coming to the next stage, a lady having impact on husband, that is another area. Then kids upbringing, definitely more than father, it is the mother's impact which matters. If mother is, he has already given Subodh the example of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. The mother has played role, and everyone's life, mother and father, parents have a larger role. Within that, if you have to choose one, which actually, by and large, is proven that the role of mother is more influential. If mother teaches a son to respect women, that son will never create problem in society. It is the other way around. People should learn. In an orthodox society, the families tell the females to control their behavior, whereas, rationally speaking, time has come in the family, parents and all the elders should control the boys first. This is how I am telling you. If the family is built on a right ethos for progressive mindset, contributory and healthy contribution point of view, if the family is built up, society will be good and the nation will be good. You look around, you are probably um, will not be able to understand. Not very long back in our childhood, we saw very good cooperation among society members, neighbors, and it was like even in cities, urban areas, it was like small villages. Colony was small village where people were so associated and knew each other so well. Even a kid was cautious when going to school or college that any uncle or auntie may see anything wrong going. Today things are changing. Probably our society structure has changed a lot. So nation building, a topic which I am elaborating because our mindset has to change, our personality has to change, and you being a leader of future, you must understand these subjects in deeper sense. You must control people around you. Then only you will be a leader. Today you may be just an individual, a student in a society, a young character in your family. There are so many people who are guiding you. You must understand their perspective and vision. When they tell you to control this or do this, you must understand it is for your betterment. Similarly, when Subodh is talking about the woman contribution or woman's role in nation building, we have to understand how women are occupying this space in society. They are standing shoulder to shoulder in every field. They are proving their mettle, their worth, at times better than their counterpart. There is no restriction or the dearth of talent. It is just the matter of scope. The woman empowerment is happening, and they are actually exploiting, exploring this opportunity. And if we as a nation has to stand tall and powerful, we need more contribution from our female folk because they are still not up to the mark. Rural India is still way behind. Urban area, yes, we see a lot of people equally contributing. Rural India, still the equality status is not visible. The education is restricted. Beyond 10th, very few girls are opting for higher studies, and it is just till marriage they are studying. After marriage, the education is just stopped. We need learned and ethical, educated mothers in home. We need the life partners in the families, well educated. They may not be doing job, but they are educated. Education helps, and the education from the cultural point of view. There are two different things. A cultured person may not be educated. A educated person may not be cultured. We need a fine balance between these two. Okay, I elaborated because I want to groom your young minds on these issues, because tomorrow you will have your own families. Today you are part of family at a junior level. You must understand your mother, how wholeheartedly they are contributing to your life. They are taking so much of efforts for what? For shaping your future. And very, very casually or carelessly, we at times shout at them. So that should not happen. Our parents are like a god. So, especially the respect for mother is essential. And if you want to succeed in life, start respecting parents. That is the first requirement if you want to succeed in this life. Okay, who is next?
Sir,
Yes, Subodh.
sir, I have a doubt. Means whenever I start a lecturate, so I give some historical. I starts from a historical background. So, sir, is it okay every time, or I shall avoid it?
It is good strategy provided you don't get carried away. Today it was a little more. You could have cut down 20 seconds on that and should have given more examples of contemporary world. How engineers and doctors and scientists and space scientists especially, we need more fine balance. Of course, every CBSE 10th and 12th result, we are finding girls on top. NEET result, IIT result, especially NEET result, we are getting more girls in doctor fraternity. That is a good sign. You can quote these contemporary things. Okay.
Yes,
Always in these 3 minutes, even if we are giving past reference, give present and future link. More on that. Okay.
yes, sir.
That is how leadership shines. Always. Okay. Who is next?
Sir, can I?
Sanjeevani.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why the mood is low or energy is low or everything is okay
Yes, sir. Everything's
or
okay.
network is low?
No, yes, sir.
Okay,
Network is low.
okay. Be loud.
Now, sir,
Okay.
I'm audible.
Yes, yes, audible. Be loud. I think energy is
Yes,
missing.
sir.
खाना खाया कि नहीं?
Sir, खाया अब भी.
Okay, you are in Pune or
In Pune.
okay? And where is Abaya?
Abhay is Aurangabad.
Why?
Some family function.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Subodh, keep time.
Yes, sir. You can start.
Okay, good evening to all. Today my lecture topic is climate change impact. So, climate change is a well-known term that is easily heard on TV or other medias. But this is term means a lot. The disturbance in nature is showing result and their life of the planets. First of all, melting glaciers, rising temperature, natural disaster, change in pattern of perception are some of easily observed effect on this in change. More shocking data is released by the recently whole study study and the report. Recently, a media report disclosed that the changing climate is making such as impact on environment that a rise nearly 1 to 2 degrees Celsius in temperature. In the temperature can causes increase a sea level about 20 feet. Purpose of this report that justify the effect of global warming that is change for human race. The rising temperature is lead to ice to melt successively and increase in the water level. In another study disclose information about climate change. Our atmosphere is expected to cross the mark of 50 degree Celsius in this century, along with the water problem are expected in northern region of country. This increase of 8 degree of temperature will more hazard for the survive for the with depending resource. Another amazing information was released that India has spent about 200 billion per year as a environment factor. If India fails to take necessary step to overcome the rising carbon level and secondary effect of a rising temperature, the Indian partner of the India of the study that
Last 30 seconds.
sorry sir, can I continue?
Yes, yes.
The water warm in India is coming year means focus of the effect of sea to the northern region, including Chandigarh, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Delhi. Not only this rainfall also stayed in the study, which will lead to a
Time up.
sir. Can I continue?
Okay, 20 seconds.
Yes, sir. The change in climate as a the change in climate as activity active along by the human for personal benefits, irrespectively of nature permissions. The effects are clearly visible as the agriculture sector. Change leading to a farmer suicide and several natural disaster, climate and
Time
several.
up.
Every year, record of temperature in summer and winter are broken, and rain also make a new record for every year. So, lastly, I want to conclude that this is not all we need to survive. Nature is the base of life, and it will lead more disaster subsequently, making it hard for a human to survive. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Sanjivani. Okay, content wise, you are going good. Topic is important. Climate related issues are burning issues, survival related issue, and very, very important from the future perspective. We are the custodian of Mother Earth, human beings, supposedly the leader on earth among all animals. And we should take that moral responsibility of protecting this planet Earth. Not only Earth, entire universe, because we are creating so many things. We are disturbing the ecosystem around us. So we are realizing whether it is plastic related thing, pollution related thing, temperature related thing, both way, whether it is on a plus side or a minus side. Things are very important, and off late there are deliberations, there are discussions, there are committees formed, and things are getting highlighted. All nations are coming together on these issues. NGOs are there. There are some institutions which are trying to protect and raise the alarm. Paris Accord is one event which is now significant in the recent times. India has already given assurance and working towards it that we are actually with the good initiatives. We are helping, supporting, and really leading in these regard. We are trying to control our climate going bad. We are controlling. During COVID period, whole world realized how pollution could be controlled and what are the positives of it. Oxygen level was improved, clean air was available, and the environment was looking clean. So these are very important things we as a mankind should understand. So what Sanjeevani was highlighting about water level will rise with even a degrees temperature rise, and we may get submerged. It will start with coastal cities, but then it is very dangerous. We are heading for troubles if we don't control our uh, actions, and that is how world is coming together to have unanimous decision on this. There will be some differences because developed world already had some all the research and experiments and possessions of many things. The developing world will always demand that now it is our turn. Let us develop, then we will see. So these arguments will go on. But after all, we have to take care of our Mother Earth, environment around us, and for future generations, we should have better water, better air, and better place to live. Sanjeevani, couple of suggestions. Time management, your weakest point. Okay, don't get carried away. If you know some more points, you organize it better. Second, pronunciations. You have worked a lot, things are improving, but sky is the limit. You have to work upon it continuously. Okay, it is coming up, flow is coming up, and it is really on a very, very good note now. Okay, level is good. Sanjeevani?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Who is next? Aryan.
Sir,
Yes, Sharvari.
sir, I always have difficulty in organizing my content. So, what must be flow in that content?
See, you should be making it simple for yourself. Suppose there is a topic. Today you spoke on women empowerment. Women empowerment, you naturally get some thoughts in your mind that I know these things. So there are two ways to handle it. First, to make a broad structure. Okay, I will give little background to it, maybe historical or maybe little um, just immediate past. What was the condition of women in the society? Then coming to present scenario, you started with some introduction. Introduction involves little bit background, and then you want to come on main thing and conclusion. These are your three broad categories. Generally, that is how 3 minutes are organized, or any uh, talk is organized, whether it is 1 hour or 3 minute. Then coming to the basic points, some statistics which you know should immediately click in your head that on this subject I know some statistics, I know some examples. Examples are always impactful, always remember. So you have to tune your mind that what data I have on this, what examples I can give in this topic. And there are few things which naturally will follow. Suppose in this woman empowerment, what you spoke today, some background how women state was there before independence or in the history, then how after independence things are changing, voting rights, education rights, reservations for jobs, then some of the seats in higher educations, thereafter how they are getting placed in society, how every sector is opening up, whether it is defense or research or education or scientific field or corporate world, you name a thing, political world. We have so many MLAs and MPs and future president in all probability is likely to be again women. So all these examples, some of it will come to your head immediately because see, we assume that in a competitive preparation, you are in certain process. There are so many things you hear. Today you heard so many topics so far. This is what is a subconscious mind is registering. You must tinkle it. You must give scope to your natural mind to come up, say something. But how it will be ensured? Practice. When you speak without any fear, inhibition, no kind of apprehension कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे, सुनने वालों को कैसे लगेगा, how does it matter? You are practicing. The day you clear your exam, your process, everybody will admire. Oh, good. She prepared well. He prepared well. That day, you just aim for that day. A day will come, I will click. Until then, let people say anything. Let people laugh at me. I will go through a process. Something like you learn a cycle. You fall down. You then become a perfect cyclist. This is how things move. So, firstly, a broad structure, then checking some of the thoughts ki, okay, I can arrange examples, statistics, and future, how to lead to that, ki how, like topic of nation building, women empowerment, or missile technology, every topic will have a different thought process. Little bit vary. Not that it is totally different process. Little bit variation will be required. And it will come with more listening, more practice, and automatically it will settle. Sharvari, you are just beginning on these. Some of the natural good points are there with all of you. Some are good in English, some are good in IQ, some are good in um, pronunciations and the voice. All these things are some of the natural things with you. Problem is not that. Problem is, okay, what are my areas where I have to work? And that should be happening with each practice. You identify your areas. Some of the things I will keep observing and telling. It will not happen in one sitting. It will happen with a process. And let's go through that process because a natural shaping will happen and that will be a permanent shaping. You may correct yourself for a particular day, for a particular speech by remembering this thing, that thing, but it will not be a natural process. A day will come, you will be standing and you will not be able to speak. But the process which I am talking about, you will be so confident that whole life you will be benefited because it will become second habit to you. This is how we have to look forward. Okay, Sharvari? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Uh, next
Sir,
volunteer.
you're audible.
Okay. Next volunteer. If there is no volunteer, that is wrong. Aryan, I want to hear you.
I have not prepared anything specific, sir, but I would like to talk on India-Israel relations shortly.
Yes, and that is what is I want natural. If you are not prepared, better. Let's hear that natural. Okay. Was the Sanjivani keep time?
Yes, sir. You can start, Aryan.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Today's topic for my lecturate is India-Israel relations. With strong leadership in the centers for both of the nations, in recent times, India and Israel relations are deeply rooted. India and Israel trade relations are not only limited to the defense, but in various sectors like energy, telecom, real estate, water technology, and renewable energies. Talking about the defense, India is the largest buyer of defense equipments from Israel. Falcon Hawks, that is airborne warning and control system, Huron drones, Searcher second, Harp drones, and Spider quick reaction anti-aircraft system. So this is what we import from Israel. So India is the third largest business partner with Israel. Both of these nations have even signed free trade agreements. Talking about the development in agriculture sectors, recently in May 2021, a 3-year work program agreement for development in agricultural cooperation was signed between two nations. Even India was part of joint working group, which took place in 2021 which was the topic of the meeting was bilateral defense cooperation. Again, even in future, both of these nations are looking forward for more pacts and more plans for together hand in hand development for a bright future. Thank you.
Okay. Good, Aryan. Uh, you must practice regularly. Your see, natural temperament is good. Your voice is good, and there is some kind of NCC roots in you, and that will further nurture and shape your personality. So be with the flow, do justice to your caliber. Okay, Aryan? India Israel relations, very important. Both nations are having some similar problems, and agendas are matching, and that is how we came together. Israel is very, very clear in their missions. They don't mix their words, they talk and they do and deliver. Very, very interesting nation. And that is how they are respected all over world. One sector which Aryan categorically could not mention, he mentioned all other sectors, agriculture. He mentioned water, which is a part of it. Agriculture. India, Israel are working together in agriculture in a bigger way. Our drip irrigation and all those things, courtesy goes to Israel's technologies. And there is a lot of improvement happening in these regard. A lot of things are there. Okay, who is next?
Sir,
Practice.
I can.
Yes, Swapnil. Is it Swapnil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aryan, keep time.
Yes, sir. You may start now, Swapnil.
Jain everyone. Today's my topic is NCC. When I hearing this name and uh, this course like some union. When I hear the NCC name, I feel very energetic, very bold. I'm now coming to on my topic. Firstly, I introduce the NCC. NCC is the power of youths, power of second defense line. Another thing, other ways can we define the NCC. And I want to talk about the history of NCC. History of NCC started in 15 July of 1948 in the committed by the Pandit Hridaynath Kunjuru. The first was NCC was only for the university students, but after the looking of craze of NCC, the NCC is allotted for the colleges. And in the history 1962 war, NCC served as a reserve forces. And I'm now talking about the structure of the NCC. The structure of NCC as a rank structure in NCC is firstly we will the cadet, second lance corporal, third is corporal, fourth is sergeant, and fifth is junior under officer, and bigger most and higher most for in NCC is a SCO, senior under officer. There are several camps in NCC. They which gives you a opportunity to the show your talent and other many things. Firstly, there are I want to tell some main camps because there are many opportunities. Firstly, CTC. This camp is compulsory for all NCC cadets. Second is RDC, and many more camps give you a opportunity. And lastly, I want to say that some benefits and uh, some some benefits I experienced by NCC when I was first year and first day of NCC. I give firstly my boldness, energetic and very and give my and I am now tell proudly ki I am now a NCC cadet of third year. So I want to lastly tell about
Last
sir.
30 seconds.
I want to conclude that the unity of NCC is unity and discipline, and that not for NCC cadet, but it can be compulsory for all the students. That's why we are not, if not in NCC, but we are attached to NCC. That's why I want to conclude that. Thanks, sir.
Okay, good, Swapnil. It came quite natural. You are an NCC student, and NCC is a very, very important organization which is shaping lakhs of youth personalities, and that is what is we need to highlight. What are the benefits of NCC? Why a youth should prefer NCC? What will be the extra benefits if you don't take eh, NCC versus you take NCC? So that distinguishing factors you can highlight in such a topic, especially when you appear in Defense Services Selection Board, then you can compare. Then it will be a reserve force for tomorrow's war. If required, NCC students, especially C certificate holders, they are the reserve force. They can be used if need arises because they are trained for some kind of work which can suit military requirement. And this is the beauty. Discipline, time management, punctuality, some kind of sincerity, loyalty, integrity, camaraderie, these virtues one cannot just learn from theory. No matter of theory can build up these values and virtues in your personality. It will be through some kind of processes, and NCC does that. Military life does that. Good schools does that. Good families does that. Organizational things, institutional things. Family is also an institution. So we need that good environment and things will happen. Good Swapnil, with practice, flow will come, momentum will come, and confidence will come. Content will improve automatically. Okay? Keep practicing.
Yeah.
We just would hear Ansh and Harsh. Okay, Harsh, just speak something, whatever you want to speak. Tell your dreams and how you
Sir,
are
actually,
hopeful you will achieve. Okay,
yes, sir, can I speak about a topic which I've prepared?
great. So why I required to remind? Hmm? Okay,
Sir, I
Swapnil
was
keep
feeling.
time. Okay, Swapnil will keep time,
Yes, sir.
and then Harsh will speak. And Ansh, you can just give introduction and your dream, or you want to speak, you can speak. Okay,
Sure,
Harsh.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Harsh, you can start now.
Yes, sir. Good evening, friends. Today's topic of my lecture is doping in sports. The term doping refers to the use of banned substances in various sports tournaments. The PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, is another term used for drugs used by athletes to improve their athletic performance in tournament. Doping may give advantage to the athlete in his match, but it will also have various side effects in the long run. This process directly affects the cardiovascular system, nervous system, respiratory tract, and may cause hormonal imbalances. It not only affects our physical health but also affects our mental health, causing insomnia, depression, and anxiety. In some cases, it may also cause infertility and sudden death. Uh, this is all about our physical damage. The second issue that rises over here is the unfair advantage to the athletes. It even devalues the spirit of sportsness. So, to tackle this problem, the blood samples are taken of the athletes to test the drug content. Uh, According to the WADA, World Doping World Anti-Doping Agency, any such case of doping can lead to a ban from sports up to 2 years. Recently, we got to know about the news that a national level female player, Antima Kumari, who was shortlisted for the Asian Games, had been banned for 2 years by the National Anti-Doping Agency after finding some traces of tamoxifen in her samples. All I want to say is there are many cons rather than pros in the use of doping in sports. It gives us much more satisfaction when we win with fair means rather than winning by unfair means. So that's all for now. Thank you very much.
Very nice, Harsh. Came very natural from the uh, sports person. You are a sports person. So this is how every topic one has to come to that level that it may not be your favorite topic, but if need arises, you will be able to speak with equal spirit, equal energy, equal knowledge. And this is a leader's role one has to do that you are preparing for your favorite subjects and also which are not so favorite. Doping, a very very important subject, competitive exams at times, maybe in GD or in lecturette, because it has got implication. Sports and military are very very closely associated. A sportsman spirit is a fighter spirit, is a right spirit, is a positive spirit, ethical spirit, a sincere spirit, and same is with soldier. So when it comes to unethical actions, doping is an unethical action. not expected, not tolerated in sports. Because if you see, the basis of sports is all about a fighter. A fighter will win with ethical and correct means. And that is how there is no space, no tolerance when it comes to such kind of unfair things. Harshwardhan, you brought out very systematically points. Okay, all points were good. And try and listen your own thing and analyze. Okay, you wanted to speak these points and how many you covered. This is how every speaker has to analyze. When you speak and then introspect, okay, I wanted to speak that point also, but it could not come well. Or this has come up, points have come, but the force was not there. Or the way you wanted to convey it, it has not come that way. These small evaluation and review will correct automatically your next performance. Go through these processes. Okay,
Yes,
now
sir.
we will just listen Ansh, who is joining us from Pune. Okay, Ansh, he's my friend's son.
Good evening, everybody present out here. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. I am Anish Sharma. I am 16. I am 15 years old. I am from Haryana. I am currently in class 11th. I'll be pursuing science. I'll be pursuing PCM with CS in 11th. And my aim is to join the Indian Army.
Okay,
Uh,
Ansh.
and my hobbies are to yes, sir. My
Yes, sir.
hobbies are to make friends and to play keyboard.
Okay, good. And walk on the footsteps of Papa, isn't it?
I yes, Uncle.
Yes, you want to
Yes, sir.
don the
You can say
uniform.
about that. Yes, sir.
Good, good, Ansh. And see, every one of you is very, very passionate about uniform.
Yes, sir.
Some
That
are
is
for NDA, some are for technical entry, some are for CDS entry. And that passion should not die down. Journey
yes, sir.
is not difficult, but it is not so easy also. You all
Yes, sir.
must be passionate about it. You all must work hard. It is just matter of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year journey. Bas. Uske baad you will be pitched, or you will something like catching a flight. Once you are airborne, your journey starts.
Yes,
Similarly,
sir.
whether you land in NDA or IMA or OTA or AFA or Naval Academy, your journey will be different pedestal on joining. But before that, it is your hard work, which you should believe, you should work for it. Not only for you, imagine the fallout of such results. The day NDA result comes, you passed, you recommended, and your parents, the happiness, the joy, the feelings. I'm telling you, that will be the best day, best reward from a kid to parents. Imagine that day. Work for it. Work for that passion. Rewarding the parents, rewarding yourself. You all must do hard work. And those dreams should trigger you, should pump you with energy कि नहीं, मुझे जिद से करना है, मैं ढीला नहीं पड़ूंगा. I will work for it and one day I will be there. It is your job कि हम काम कर सकते हैं. Luck will follow. Hard work bus is in your hand. Work systematically and the dream will come true. Okay. Anyone, any point? Okay, Ansh, we will be regularly interacting.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone, any point, or we will close
Sir, can we take tomorrow PPDT at offline class?
offline. Okay. We will take one PPT and one another thing. It will be roughly 1.5 hour, 2 hour offline. I'm talking about offline in Aurangabad. Those who can come, please come. Okay, we will end here. Bye. Jai Hind.
Bye,
Jai Hind,
sir.
sir.
Jain sir.